Hello, welcome back, and yeah, I'm making a video about Hadion. Some people may have expected this if they or let's say, looking at, some people may have already expected this due to my rant about Hadion's character over on Blue Sky, or also on X or Twitter, depending on how you call that place. So yeah, and also, I know I promise I'll do the Prime songs, but I will get to them eventually, trust me. And also, I'm also going to be doing the new rule system for this series, which I will explain in the next part before getting to the other part. So yeah, and surprisingly, I actually did found some interesting details about Hadion. So yeah, also I'm doing Hadion because he's easy to do, since I hadn't did this the Songs War History of series in a while. So yeah. Okay, so the new rules for this series is basically this. I'll basically follow the characters' canon, basically through all of their appearances, no matter what, official or no longer official. So now I'll basically cover characters' appearances in their season 2 and 3 script. That is, those are, well, as you may know, officially not canon anymore. 2 songs were lore, only like bits and pieces of it. And eventually the songs were spin-off that will release in 2026. So yeah. Shockingly, in episode 1 of Songs War, in the prologue, if you look very close in the background, you can actually see Hadion. And I was able to tell this was because at first when I saw it I thought, hey, was that Galader? But then when I ended up checking the sword, I realized no, that's Hadion because at that hole. And I have a fun fact, throughout the entire prologue, you can actually spot Hadion fighting this one Voltaris 3 different times. In this one mountain battle with where Ingressus is at, and at the final battle of the prologue of the Great War. But Hadion will make his proper appearance within Song's War in episode 9, showing up with his brother Galadar during the clan meetings about the Voltaris ambush, and debating on the next course of action. By the end of it, Hadion decides to go with his brother and Zulius to strike the Voltaris at Mount Belgrade. Which, side note, it kinda seemed like to me that Hadion is at least scared, or at least scared to an extent, of the Voltaris clan, due to how easily he was willing to try his best to brush off the idea of the Voltaris clan attacking him, which could imply some form of PTSD or some form of trauma from the Voltaris clan during the Great War, which is interesting to think about. Also, future editing here, when I was looking back at the editing process, I was finding a fourth scene where Hidion's at, and I also noticed that right behind him, Galadar was also there. So yeah, funny to mention. And in episode 10, we will see him with Zulian over in Araxia talking to Hubris about the strike on the Voltaris Mount Belgrade. But where they both would just straight up leave Hubris over in Araxia, believing Hubris' fear of the Voltaris strength is misplaced and stuff. Oh boy, how long they will be. And then the next scene, we basically see him riding off with Zulian and the rest of the warriors to Mount Belgrade, and then in the final part of the episode 10 where he shows up, Malvelga battle. And for the rest of episode 10 we'll be fighting at Malvelga and basically fought with the warriors to defeat the Voltaris, won the battle kind of at first before Ingressus arrived, and was able to survive the entire battle. And was able to survive the first half of the battle and standed right beside Zulian watching the Ingressus and Gakillian fight. And now we are on to his final appearance within Songs War Season 2, Episode 1. He would just die to Ingressus. That is all. He shows up, say his final last words, and then die. So, yeah. Like, that's not even a joke. He dies in the most anticlimactic way possible.
So yeah, that basically concludes the entire history of Hadion and his entire history throughout Song's not lore, but at least in the series. Screw it, I'm going to be speaking about my thoughts and feelings. Okay, so as you may know, that is one of the most anticlimactic ways to go. Like that was real fast, real quick, like just like that. No final stand, no survival mode, just die like that. Just wow. And you know what? Here's a fun fact that for years, and I'm not joking, not for years, that kind of bothered me. Like every time I ever thought about this scene, Hadion, Galader, and Zulius straight up dying to Incressus, just like that. Like with no final showdown, with no escape, with no, at least some of them surviving, they just all died, just like that. Like that's it. There's no big final battle. Unlike earlier, they all just die, just like that. And like for years, that kind of bothered me. Like that really did bother me for like a really long time. But now, since the season 2 and 3 scripts are officially no longer canon, and the new scripts for season 2 and 3 are, well, being rewritten, if any of the writers, or CK Photaris, or Mon, or really anyone of you guys are like watching this, please have the Mendoris brothers survive in some way, shape, or form, because I actually see like a lot of potential what you guys could like do with those characters. Like you could just have it where they're both taken as prisoners or something like that, and they have their own like their little side adventure with not side adventure, but their own little side story that'll tie like to like Lucidius. Why Lucidius? Because I have my own personal ideas about Lucidius that I am planning on talking about in the future when I eventually getting around to actually doing that Lucidius video. Since the original one, pretty crappy. Just watch the first 1 minute and you see what I'm talking about. So yeah. I mean, are they going to be like kept alive in the new canon? Most likely not, which is a shame. And so far, there's so far no evidence to basically say that either Hadion or Galader will survive the new canon and will just still die. So yeah, which is a shame. So far, it seemed like the new scripts will just still like maybe, most likely at least, kill both of them off, but at least make their deaths like less dramatic or something like that. So yeah. But enough of my rambling. This has been Delphius, and I'm signing out. Story.